Hello, 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 everybody. My name is Great Eagle Sim Pilot. I'm a real world A320 captain, bringing my love for aviation and flight simulation together for all you wonderful people out there. How's everyone doing this fine Friday evening? Hopefully everyone's doing quite okay. A little bit of a change up to the stream this evening. I know I said I was going to go down to Orlando from Atlanta, but after messing around with down in Orlando, something is wrong. I don't know what Microsoft or Sobo did to Orlando, but it worked perfectly fine for my JetBlue stream to Cancun, and now none of the jetways work. I have no clue what happened. And so I was like, well, that's just a bummer. So I decided to switch it up. We'll go down to Tampa instead. We're still going to be doing some real world frontier ops. They do take A321 down to Tampa, and just about real time. So there we go. Without further ado, let's get right to it, shall we? We'll hop on into the flight deck so we can get everything loaded up and ready to go. Since we're going to try to keep this as much as on a real-time schedule as possible, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and import this from SimBrief. That looks good. Let's go ahead, mass and balance, load the aircraft, GSX boarding, and refueling. There we go. We'll have GSX do all of the things there. We'll go ahead and get IRs 1, 2, and 3. Go in there and nav. That's off battery. We'll go ahead and record a ground control. We'll turn that on. Test the CVR here. That sounds good. Everything else on that left side looks good. We'll go ahead and test engine fire 1. That sounds good. APU. And engine fire number 2. All of those sound good. Hydraulics look good. The fuel panel is all set, at least for now. Batteries, we'll forget the battery check for now. Air conditioning panel is all set for now. Anti-ice is all set. Per window heat is on auto. Cabin pressurization is everything's on auto with the ditching hatch off and guarded right there. All of our lights are set how we want them to be set. We'll go ahead and get the APU turned on. There we go. Seatbelt sign off. No smoking on. We'll go ahead and arm the emergency exit lights. The PA on the first officer's overhead is out to the 3 o'clock position. VHF3 and data. Let's see. Flight now. Everything else on the first officer's overhead panel looks good. There on the glare shield here from left to right, all of our lights are extinguished. We have our flight directors on. Current altimeter is 2984. Constraints are 10 nautical miles. We don't need VR or ADF. That looks good. And the center FCU here. We have numbers or digits displayed in the windows. Heading, vertical speed, and all of our push buttons are extinguished here. Same thing on the first officer's CFIS panel. We don't need the VR or ADF. 10 nautical miles arc. Constraints. Current altimeter with the flight director on. All of his push buttons are extinguished. Coming over to the main instrument panel, I'll go ahead and turn the brightness down a little bit here. We have the PFD on the left, ND is on the right. Our ISIS is a line. That looks good with the current altimeter setting. Our ECAM displays are in the correct orientation. Nozzle steering, the brake fan is off with the landing gear indicating down through green. Any skin nozzle steering is on. The date and time is set to the correct date and time. There we go. Let's see. And the landing gear handle is down with no red arrow. That looks good. On the first officer side, we got the ND on the left, PFD on the right, and I'm going to go ahead and dim those displays down as well. That looks good. I might do the same for these just a little bit, just a tad bit. Coming on down to the center pedestal here, we'll go to FMGC. On the captain side, we have CFM 56 5B3 engines with the correct database, yeah, that looks good. So we'll go to the initialization page. We'll init that at Sue on the first officer side. AOC menu received messages, and we will pull up the initial load sheet there. Coming on down to the captain's RMP, that was a valid frequency, but center just yeeted themselves offline for literally no apparent reason. Right as I started the stream, I got a PDC, so I'm gonna keep my squawk code, which is 5730. But now it's gonna be 19.1 for the CTAF, so I'll put 19.1 in there. Unless he decides he wants to come back online again. I have no clue what happened. He just literally just disappeared offline. There we go. ECP looks good. Lighting is set how we needed to. Radar is off. PWS is off. Coming on over to the center of the pedestal here. Engine oil looks good. Hydraulics all looks good. Status, no weird status messages there, or class 2 messages. And we have 1800 psi. We'll go ahead and press and hold the recall. Should get the normal. There we go. We'll go ahead and clear that. Just showing 0 on the THS. Thrust levers idle. Engine master's off. Engine mode is norm. The speed brakes are disarmed. Flaps are up. Digits displayed in the rudder trim window here, with the gravity gear extension stowed on the first officer's side. We already did his FMS pre-flight there, initial pre-flight. RMP looks good, ACP is set, lights are set, and we got a squawk 5730. We're squawking mode Charlie, everything else looks good there. We'll go ahead and do our alternate braking system check here. So I'll go ahead and hold both brakes, release the parking brake, drops us down to 1,000. We'll release the left brake and press it back down, release the right brake and press it back down. Both move without delay. Alrighty, there we go. Now I'll go ahead and set the parking brake. That check is all complete. I'll go ahead and move our tablet over to the right hand side of our screen. And let's go ahead and get into programming the FMGC. We have Frontier Flight 3318. So we got Atlanta, Tampa, Orlando's the alternate. For some reason, I thought I put Fort Myers as the alternate. Oh, well, either or. I'll take Orlando. I wonder why I kept Fort. Well, I swear I put Fort Myers in there. That's okay. We'll use Orlando if we absolutely have to there as our alternate. Our cost index is going to be 5 this evening, with a cruising altitude of 32,000 feet. ISA deviation is going to be plus 12, so that's going to be 24. The current outside temperature is going to be, let's see, weather. Datus VetSim is now offline. 23 degrees outside. There we go. We'll go ahead and put that in there. We'll go to the init B page. We'll go ahead and take our information from the first officer's display here. 146.5 is our zero fuel weight, 146.5. And we're looking for Mach of 26.6. There we go. I'll put him back on the main page there. Our block fuel, looking at 20.5 on the block fuel. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Route reserve, I'll go ahead and zero that out since we're allowed to do that in the Phoenix. Alternate fuel is going to be alternate Orlando 2.6. So we'll put 2.6 in there. Excellent. We'll go over to our flight plan page. We'll do departure 27 right is what they're using. So we'll go ahead and insert that. We'll be on the using a slightly different format than I'm usually looking at. No, there it is. The Bang 3 Luck. Bang 3 Luck transition. Here we go. Go ahead and insert that. Tampa's going to be runway 19er right. We'll be on the Matey 5 Onid transition. So we'll do Matey 5 Onid. There we go. I do not know why it does that sometimes. We'll go ahead and insert that. We got the nav accuracy upgrade. We will go ahead and clear that out. Go back to initialization. Winds, we shall request our winds. Let's go over to performance here. Nope, that is not what I wanted. I wanted to go over to this page. There we go. Let's go ahead and we will sync our preliminary. Let's get plus 2,000 is going to be 168.5. Excellent. There we go. Winds, we don't take credit for headwinds. Excellent. And we will calculate that one out. Excellent. We'll send that to the McDo. All right. That all looks good there. Go over to our manage here. We'll go 290, and for our managed descent secondary flight plan, we'll copy that active. We're not worried about EO SIDS here. And that finishes our McDo pre-flight. Let's go ahead and switch over to the plan mode 10 nautical miles and verify our route. So we'll bring up the SID, bang through off a 27 rate. I'll hide that real quick. Excellent. Jack Flight Sim says, hey buddy, hello from West Lafayette, Indiana. Southwest Max 8 from Denver to Indianapolis was awesome today. Can't stay long, but wanted to say hi. Thank you very much, Jack Flight Sim. Thanks for tuning in real quick to the stream. Welcome to the Eagle's Nest. Hopefully you had a fantastic flight flying out to Indianapolis. If you saw the airport in the last stream, doesn't it look just like the airport in the simulator? Looked just like the airport in real life. It's amazing how accurate they made that airport look. So hopefully you're having a great time there in Indianapolis. And Southwest Max 8, man, did it still have the new plane smell on there, huh? Let's see. I got plane 10 nautical miles. It sounds like they're done loading up in the back. We just have some bags. It looked like we had a decent amount of bags, so maybe another minute or two before they're done loading downstairs. 278 says a 275 heading. We're going to go all the way out to Salah. Then Riggs. Then Rivet is going to be at 250 knots. And we're going to go all the way down to Bang. From Bang, we're going to go to Luck. From Luck, it looks like we're going to go direct to Honed. So, let's see. We'll go direct to Honed there. And then Honed is the arrival, so we have, I mean, we won't review that now. We should have a little bit of time once we do get up into our cruise phase of flight to verify our arrival there. So looks like what do we have here? They're showing 395 miles, 393 miles here in the box. Excellent. Now we can go ahead and brief our Ghost FO. Are you ready for a briefing? He says yes, he's ready for a briefing. Excellent. Any threats? No real threats other than center might pop online at any time, or they could pop offline at any time. Kind of random. Yeah, that's the biggest threat. No real terrain. I'm not really concerned about weather. We'll push back, and more than likely to be a nose south pushback. Man, this guy's been brutal. What is your departure? We'll taxi out probably Mike. We'll do Mike and Lima Alpha down to the end. Plan on doing a flaps 2 flex standard reject considerations. Any questions about what we need to reject for? Nope. Excellent. If we do lose an engine after V1, we'll continue straight ahead to about 5,000 feet. Clean up the aircraft, work the ECAM, and make an emergency return to 27 right if we can, since it's 12,300 feet long. If we can't, we'll take the next longest available runway, which is 26 left, 9,999 feet. Missed 10,000 feet by 1 foot, man. You could have paved 1 more foot down here. Yeah. Either way. Otherwise, 10,000 feet is the top altitude according to our PDC. I have CTAF, and here, there's the center if they ever come back online. And we're squawking 5730. Mode C is on. Do you have any questions? Nope, no questions. Excellent. IDAIRS is aligned. Recorder ground control is on. Go ahead and get rid of this. Our EFIS is set. Terrain on ND is on. Park and brake is on and set. Our ACP, RMP are all checked. Our position, I should not have gotten rid of that quite yet. Look for 3338.2, 3338.3. That's good. And 08425.7, 08425.9. And that's good enough for me. We'll go ahead and get rid of you. Our ND looks appropriate. Our PFD, we have V1, V2, climate nav, blue. Flight directors 1 and 2, and we can go ahead and check our oxygen. That all looks good there. We are done fueling, so what I can go ahead and do is I can get the fuel pumps on at this time. We won't get any weird ECAM messages there. Let's go ahead and get the seatbelt sign on. We'll wait till they're done boarding to turn the beacon on. Excellent. Fuel on board, balance, pumps are on, hydraulics look good. Pressurization, auto with a landing altitude. There. And lastly, our oil, that all looks good. We can do a B4 start checklist. Recorder ground control is on. Flight forms and maintenance log on board. Reviewed aircraft 709. Fuel quantity 20.5 required, 20.4 on board. Takeoff performance, we got 160, 161, 161 with a flex 51. Oxygen is checked. Seatbelt sign on. ECAM checked. Park brake is on and checked. MCDU set. Altimeters, we got 2984 set thrice. And departure briefing is reviewed. The before start checklist is complete there. Looks like they are completely done boarding. So we'll go ahead and get that beacon light turned on. Make sure we get all of 8 doors armed. And how are we looking on our time versus the real world flight? The real world flight, okay, we're a little bit ahead of the real world flight, but that's quite all right. Because the real world flight is slotted to leave at 5 past the hour. So all 8 doors are armed. That looks good. We have P, A, N, T, and S. The alt looks good there. Beacon light is on. We go outside real quick. Of course, the flight simulator is doing what the flight simulator be doing best. Also, I don't know, like, if anyone else has had this issue. But literally, so last night I streamed, I noticed that it said GSX is out of date, right? So today I updated GSX. I have this now. All of my GSX vehicles have this on there. Wherever the logo is supposed to be is this now. What on earth? Except here. The only one that doesn't have it. Everything else has the silly thing there. So I don't know. That's very odd that GSX got rid of something happened with the logos on this last update. And you can't say, oh, something wrong with your install file, because it worked perfectly fine before I updated it. So GSX obviously did something in this last update where it like changed how the logos look. I don't know. It's something happened. Get an American A321 taxiing out right there. Alrighty. Well, we should be good there. What I'll do is, no one else. Yeah, there's no one else on the ramp. So what we shall do is we'll go ahead and push back. No south, tail north. Fuel check not available during boarding or departure. Continue pushback. I want nose left. Hello? Okay. Let's do this again. Nope. You know what? So this is so annoying. Alright, so I'm here. Ground services. I wish that would be automatic right there. Alright, there we go. Now we got it. Alright, so park and brake is released. Go to push. Nope. Brake set, clear to disconnect your phone. We'll go ahead and get that timer started. There we go. The sounds are just significantly better compared to the default A330 we have. So much cleaner. So much cleaner. Let's go ahead and get our final load sheet here. There we go. We have a 146.6, 146.5. Okay, so 146.6 with a 26.6 CG. So that all checks. Excellent. The little guy has given us the salute, or given us the flag and the salute, the pin and the salute. So there we go. We'll go flaps 2.
Atlanta traffic, American 724, Arnett football, runway 27 right, takeoff.
Excellent. After start checklist, engine anti-ice we don't need. Status is checked and our rudder trim is 0. The after start checklist is complete. We are clear on the left and clear on the right. Go ahead and bring this up and we'll slide you on over there. Gonna be on this side. We'll do Lima 6 and Mike. How about that? Atlanta traffic, Delta. Oh, nope, we are Frontier flight. 3318 is at ramp 4. We'll be taxiing 27 right via Lima 6 Mike. Atlanta traffic. Alrighty, there we go. I assume since we were in Atlanta, we were just Delta. That's okay. There we go. Come on, girl. You can go.
Atlanta traffic, American 724 airborne through 2000, climbing 10,000, RNAV football, last call. Have a good one.
Atlanta traffic, Endeavor 5246 is airborne, RNAV, MCAT, last call. Thanks.
We're on the left. You're on the right. There we go. Alrighty, once we make this turn onto Mike, we'll do our flight control check and before takeoff checklist here. Excellent, I can get rid of you. Alrighty, flight control check. Pull up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudders. Full left. Full right. Neutral. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. Let's see, trim. That looks good. Our predictive wind shear is on. We'll do a takeoff configuration check. That all looks good. And let's do a before takeoff checklist all the way down to the line. We got 5 minutes on the engines. Excellent. Flaps are to plan, to indicated takeoff data, and speeds are all checked. Our weight is currently at 166.8, and we were planning on 166.5. Stab trim, 25.8%. We were planning on 25.8%. That looks good. Flight controls checked. ECAM memo is takeoff, no blue. We are to the line. We can just go ahead and go below the line. Now let me move my rudders to a more advantageous position. Hold on. That feels about right. Below the line. Even though that doesn't paint anything, there we go. Put the radar on just in case. Runway and FMS, I got runway 27 right on the box, in the box on the screen, and out the window. That's checked. Our minimum takeoff fuel. In 19.9 required, 20.2 on board. Flight attendants, we'll go ahead and see them now. Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. Notified engine mode is norm, and the TCAS is at T8RA, the before takeoff checklist is complete. So we'll take this all the way down to the end, and we will go ahead and take off. I don't see anyone on final. Whoever that is talking super soft. I can barely hear who that was. Beautiful eagle. Beautiful eagle as we're about to take off into the sunset air. I think... Ooh, I was going on in Atlanta, but I was trying to look to see this flight, the flight we are supposed to be doing, this Frontier Flight 3054, and they canceled that flight. A Delta flight diverted, and 2 more Delta flights are delayed. Wow, okay. Atlanta's not having a good day. Oh well. Because they were scheduled at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Alright. So, we won't worry about that then. Alrighty, final looks clear. No one has taken off in quite some time on 27 right. So, let me make sure. Let's go outside. Yeah, I can get all the way down to the end. I'm pretty sure with all these intersections down here, you get, what is that, Bravo Charlie in the end, Alpha, A, B, and C, that they do intersection departures, and you'd have numbers for all of the intersections here, or the shortest intersection, with the intersection that gives you the shortest amount of runway. Alrighty. Atlanta traffic. Frontier Flight 3318, departing runway 27 right on the Bang 3 departure. Atlanta area traffic. Alrighty. There we go. No need to do a super tight turn. I literally had the throttles at like 27% the entire taxi, and we never got above 10 knots. That's how I just think the idle the idle is not correct on these CFMs. That's just what I feel like. All right. Everything looks good. There's the setting sun right in front of us. Awesome. Beautiful. Sounds are coming up. %50 on the thrust. Half down on the side stack. Looks good. Flex. Thrust set. $80. Checked. B1, rotate. Positive rate, 0. Climb. All right, here we go. Let's do the climb from back here. There we go. Climb set. Atlanta traffic. Frontier flight 3318 is 2,600 RNAV to Slaw on the Bang 3. Last call. Atlanta area traffic. Flaps 1. I'm gonna take it all the way to the auto retract, and then I'm gonna go flaps up. So once I see the auto retract, then I'll go flaps up. There we go, flaps up after takeoff checklist. Excellent, we'll go ahead and get the spoilers disarmed, and after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, flaps are up, and we are pressurizing after takeoff checklist is complete. Beautiful departure into the sunset. Look at this, chat. Wow, just look. That is absolutely beautiful. Then I think we can anticipate a night arrival into Tampa there. So that should also be quite beautiful. With I think with coming in on 1-9, we should come in, and the city downtown should be to our left when we land. So expecting another beautiful arrival. I'll bring the volume back down to a more reasonable level. There we go. Excellent. There's 10,000 feet from our clearance, so let's go ahead and take it all the way up to 32,000 feet. We'll manage that up. It's a shame that the real flight canceled out of Atlanta. because I would have loved to like pull up the flight radar and see how we're tracking compared to the real flight. Are we ahead of schedule compared to them? Are we behind schedule? 100% we're ahead schedule because GSX got us loaded up so quickly. So that's going to be the positive side of that. But it would have been cool to do like a side-by-side comparison. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get our lights off. I forgot to ding them out of sterile. Excellent. And Unicom 122.8. I'm sure we'll get a notification if they come back online. So 122.8 for now. There we go. Let me take a sneak. Tampa approach is still online, so that's good. Well, are they? Because this still says Atlanta Center is online, and I'm pretty sure they are not online. Nope, they are not. Memphis Center is on. But Tampa approach is on, so we should get some valid vectors for the approach here into Tampa. That's probably about it. Jack Center is not on. Miami Center is not on. So that's all right. That is quite all right. Look at that. Max Racing, hello. Welcome. Glad you're able to join us this evening. Welcome to the Eagles Nest, sir. How are you doing this afternoon, this evening? Did you see the Frontier Alpha contract video? No, I have not. So if you could like PM me that video on the Discord, that would be awesome. I'll take a look at that later then, because I tried to Google it and everything I'm finding is like from like 6 to 10 years ago, and then the only thing I found that I think was from this year was that they're pretty much ready to strike. They've taken a vote, and I think they've got the necessary votes to strike. So oh, there we go. Absolutely beautiful. Try not to get too much of a glare on the Eagle there. There we go. Something like that. Alright. Enough of that. We are through transition. Let's go ahead and check our tablet for the current ETIS down in Tampa. 11-knot crosswind. Super fun. Let's see, weather, VATSIM, yeah, they're still going south, of course. 29903, all right, not bad. So we'll do 29903, set once, set twice, and so tiny, set thrice. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get that wing light off. Fasten seatbelt sign can come off as well. It looks like a nice day. Look at the Cirrus. This is what you don't have in 2020. Look at those clouds up there. It looks a little blurry, I'm not gonna lie. They don't look well defined, but at least you have those high altitude cirrus clouds up there. You don't get that in 2020. Once you're above this stuff down here, it's pretty much always just clear, but look at that. Wow, that's awesome. Flight sim never ceases to amaze me. How's your day been? It has been quite all right. Not the right button I wanted to push. There we go. The in-flight meal this evening is a fine 5-course meal of Mexican cuisine. Unfortunately, I'm not in Texas, so it's not Tex-Mex, but it's our favorite restaurant, so there we go. I'll go ahead and we will get some in-flight tunes started there. There we go. The sim is looking absolutely beautiful at the sunset hour right now. Like, the sky is literally golden. It's gold right now. All right, sweet deal. I'll take a look at that after I get done tonight, so I can see what's going on over in Frontierland there. There we go. And surprisingly, even though there we go. Mexican dinner is finished. Even though we went to, I didn't have my my usual. I decided to go with like a taco salad, but I usually get the quesadilla tacos that they have. That's like the huge thing now. It seems like every restaurant I go to has some form of quesadilla tacos, which is absolutely, it's just so yummy. Again, it's not Tex-Mex, but I mean, it's the best thing we're gonna get down here to it. That contract's to a list of topics I could talk Captain Zero off about. Well, 100%. I mean, almost on any given flight. That's not the one I wanted, but I will do that one. On any given flight, I guarantee you, the flight deck crew are talking something about the contract. Either something they hate about the contract, something they love about the contract. One time that the contract won for them, one time when the contract lost for them. Something is usually somewhere along a trip. Something about the contract is brought up. You know, you'll get definitely some people that are insanely passionate about the contract, and you know, like I said, your contract is you live by the contract, you die by the contract. That's what you're kind of locked into for the next however many years that agreement is good for. So you want to make sure you have a good enough contract. We really, man, this A321 is actually getting up there fairly nicely. We're almost up there at 32,000 feet. Sweet. So yeah, you definitely you definitely get a lot of crews that end up talking about the contract. And a lot of times what'll happen is you'll get guys who have contract questions. That's a huge one. So and you get it on both seats, right? So you get captains and first officers that will have questions about the contract, because the contracts can be a little convoluted a lot of the times, and a lot of the times it's kind of left up to the company as to whether or not what their interpretation of the language in the contract is supposed to be. And whenever their opinion of how it's written differs from what your opinion of how it's written pops up, then that's when you have an issue, and that's where you get things like grievances that need to be filed. And then, of course, all of that costs money, because you got to have attorneys go to court and, battle it out. The company's attorneys, the union's attorneys, they both go to court and try to figure out what this language means. And I mean, contracts, anyone will tell you, contracts are written by lawyers for lawyers. And that's why, like, anytime there's an issue, you file a grievance, and then the lawyers go to court and they figure out what the spirit of the verbiage is supposed to be, as written in the contract. And a lot of times, they never come to a conclusion as to what it is. So a lot of times when that happens, it is what it is. And sometimes, the courts will rule in your favor. Sometimes they'll rule in the company's favor. But then when that happens, usually we take that as ammo for the next time you go around for negotiations, and you get that verbiage changed in the contract, so that it can no longer be used and abused as the company sees fit. So I'm sure. I mean, not to get into talking contracts all day, but that's one topic that anyone can go off on a tangent for hours on. Looks like we're 31 for 32. We're about to level off here, or have we leveled off? We're about to level off here at 32,000 feet. Yep, good ride. And I get all my lights up? Yeah, I did. Excellent. 0.78, which is fairly standard for a 321. I usually cruise most of the time. We're usually gonna cruise between 7.6 and 7.8. That's really wind update. But 7.6 to 7.8. That's where we're gonna cruise around about there, unless you're on like a really short flight with a really light load. Because I've seen it where we get up to cruising altitude and it wants to cruise along, like it still wants to cruise at a Mach number, but it's like Mach 0.66 or something like that, and you're like, okay, let's do something a little bit more normal. And actually, since this is trying to slow down, I'm going to speed it back up to 0.78, because our cost index is 5, isn't it? Isn't it? Yeah, so we'll just change that from 5 to 75. Well, yeah, 0.78. So there we go. Oop. And now we can manage. And then that's the wrong button. Descent phase. If you ever see me click these buttons to try to change pages, it's because there's the latest software of the latest FMS software, as it were. These are the buttons you use now, not these buttons. So it makes it a lot more intuitive, because think about it. When you go to the init page, do you use the next function? Do you use the LSK keys, or do you use the left and right keys? You use the left and right keys, not the LSK keys. All the other pages you move around in, you use the left right key, right? So like here, you use the left right key to move around. So here, you use the left right key to move around. So you know, this is kind of counterintuitive by coming up here and using this, although a lot of people's hands are programmed to do that. So that's why sometimes you'll see me hit this button before I figure it out. It is what it is, and it happens just like that in the airplane too. It takes you a second before you realize, well, this airplane has a new software upgrade. Ooh, Atlanta Center hopped back online as I leave their airspace. Cold-blooded. That is absolutely cold. Who was telling me to contact someone? Auto ATC, Jacksonville Center advises cross Matey at and maintain 11,000. Tampa altimeter 29903. No separation services provided. Okay. So it wants Matey at and maintain 11,000. So let's go back up front real quick. Bring you down. Yeah, we're heading towards... Oh, we're already on the arrival. Huh, I didn't realize we were already on the arrival. That's right. So, what is Matey supposed to be? Let's go ahead and put that in here. Matey. Matey. Okay, I had to do it. Let's see. Matey at maintain 11,000. So we're going to go ahead and go in here. And we're going to go here. It wants to cross it at 11 anyway, but we're going to make that a hard altitude. And since they're landing south, why not do 250 knots? So we're not like screaming going in there. So we'll make that a hard altitude and speed. So let's go ahead and go to plan mode and 10 nautical miles on the range here. So we've passed Honed already. So we got throttle next, then heaven. Then legit. Then Gojo. Then ahoy. Then matey. That's at 11,250 knots. Then rocker. I'm thinking rocker. I don't know. And then lastly we have Sklop at 5,230 knots. And we'll get vectors onto the ILS here for runway 19er right. So we're gonna have Fatty, Jim Bob. Fatty is at or above 3,000. Then Jim Bob's at or above 2,000. Then from Jim Bob to the runway, we got 6 miles, 3-degree glide slope. So that all looks good there. For the missed approach, climb to 500, then a climbing right turn to 2,000, direct to St. Pete VOR and hold. So 5,000, direct to St. Pete, 2,000 and hold. That all looks good. Let's go ahead and go back to here. We want, actually no, I want to check the rad nav, that's right. IJRT, so we have IJRT 1085, 1085, 1085, 187, 188, close enough, 3-degree glide slope, that looks good. Progress, we want Tampa. I blinked out there, 1908, that looks good. Excellent. And lastly, we can do the performance now. Well, I got this up. Minimums 221. We'll do flaps full. Auto brake slow. It's kind of gusty. I hate a gusty crosswind. I hate a crosswind and a sharklet, but it is what it is. Yeah, 11 knot crosswind. So it's going to be tons of fun. Just absolutely Tons of fun. Let's see what the weather is doing. 270 at 11. Close enough. The temperature is 29. And the altimeter is 29903. Information Yankee is current, so there we go. Alrighty. So we'll go back to flight plan. All of that is done. We'll put the LS push buttons on. We can ask Mr. Ghost FO over here if he is ready for a briefing. Let's see where our top of descent's going to be. Okay, that's still pretty far out there. Ready for a briefing, Ghost FO? Yep, already. What are your threats coming into Tampa? Well, from Scallop to our final approach fix, or to the approach area, is really short, so we might be having a hard time getting down and slowing down for the ILS. Yeah, I would agree. We'll try to slow down at 210 knots before Scallop. 230 knots. We'll try to get at least flaps 1 out prior to Scallops. That way we can get our speed brakes out if we need to use all of our speed brakes there. That's how we'll mitigate that threat. We both reviewed the arrival. We'll be coming in on the Matey 5. Our first restriction is going to be Matey at 11,000. I put in 250 knots just for a nice little reference there. On the bottom side is Scallop at 5,230 knots. We can plan on doing a visual. We'll back it up with the ILS to runway 190 right. That's going to be chart 21-4, dated 11 April 25. The frequency is going to be 108.5. That checks. 187 is the final approach course. Jim Bob is at 2,000. DA is 221. Touchdown zone is 21 feet. And the MSA around the St. Pete VOR 2,700 feet. We'll configure using full flaps, low auto brakes if we need to go miss. Plan on doing a soft go around. Climb to 500. Then a climbing right hand turn 2,000 direct to the St. Pete VOR and continue climbing a hold. We're not a TACAN aircraft, so we're not having to worry about that. These, other than the VGSI and ILS glide path, not coincident. This should be a 3-degree angle. So we do have a PAPI on the left, Mauser lighting, MALSR, SR, MALSR. I said that really fast. Lighting, Mauser lighting. And when we do land, plan on making a left turn off. I probably won't get Whiskey 3, but we will see. It's going to be either Whiskey 3 or Whiskey 2, and then we can take Whiskey all the way back up to Victor 3, and we'll park Foxtrot 70, so Foxtrot 73, which is like right here, is what we're going to be using. Foxtrot? No. Echo. Gate 73. Whatever it is gate 73. Right here. So, which is where they park in real life. So there we go. Anything else you'd like to add to the briefing? Nope. Alrighty, excellent. Let's go back and look at this beautiful sunset, shall we? Wow. Absolutely stunning. Did my music just stop playing? That's weird. I just noticed that it's no longer playing like anything. Oh. Pretty sure it didn't have that silence, but that is what it is. beautiful colors in the sim this evening. Tampa drop is just past heaven. Between heaven and legit or legit. I'm gonna go with legit. That's what I'm gonna go with. I think Max Racing, you said that evening flights in the sim are highly underrated. They are. Look at the oranges and pinks. Like, this looks absolutely stunning. Absolutely beautiful. There's the Florida coast right off our left here, coming on down and around. Let's go ahead and what was I gonna do? I needed to do something up front and I forgot what I was gonna do. Oh, I was gonna set Tampa approach in. There we go. 19.9. That's Tampa approach. I was really looking forward to going down to Orlando this evening too, because I wanted to pick up next week where we're leaving off here in Orlando. Because I ended up downloading a US Airways A330 livery for the A330, and I wanted to take that back up to Charlotte, as that'd be some real world US Airways ops there. The A330 is long gone, but an old ode to when US Air had their A330s. They used to take one down to Orlando, which is a very busy route coming from all over the world. Universal and Disney bring in so many tourists. It's absolutely insane. And plus, they do have a growing tech sector as well. Orlando is definitely trying to diversify from not just being only a tourist destination, but also like a tech destination as well. So, a lot of people going in and out of Orlando. A lot of people. But who knows? Maybe I'll still pick it up from there. Or actually, no. Let's see. I might. So I'll be working the next few days. but might be able to come back for Turning Burn Tuesday. And if we do, I think I'll do some Allegiant ops. Probably up to Pensacola or something like that. I'm not too sure. But we'll do some Allegiant ops. Just in the Florida area. I don't know too much where Allegiant goes, but we'll figure something out. Do some Allegiant ops, and then maybe we'll take a taxi down the road to Orlando or something like that, so I can pick up where we left off and do like a U.S. Airways A330 flight up to Charlotte, North Carolina. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, nothing's in stone until I throw up the stream alert. There we go. We're heading, so we'll head back up front here. This is looking real good for my descent profile. We're about 20 miles from our top of descent here. I'll give it another 10 more miles. And then we'll start on down to 11,000. Actually, I could set 5,000 in there. Let's go ahead and check this company message real quick. Frontier Flight Ops. No ADC required. There we go. Let's go ahead and go back out. Do they have the UI times on here? I don't know if they have the UI times. No. Okay, I really don't care about the UI times. We'll put you back on performance approach page there. Yeah, since I do have the hard altitude in there, I should be able to go ahead and just put 5,000 feet, which is the bottom here. So to cross here at 11 and here at 5,230. So that's what I will do. 5,000 feet. We're about 10 nautical miles. I'll go ahead and manage our descent up. We have descent path. There we go. We're going to start a nice slow descent on down into the Tampa area. We'll do that since that's where the sun is. Well, look at the colors. The colors are absolutely amazing. I am glad I chose to do real time for this flight, because I really wanted to do real time simply because this is the actual time this flight would be flying as well. So I'm not like making up a time or anything like that. And this is way better than flying in the middle of the day. I'll tell you that 100%. Here comes the ball, intercepting our VNAV path. There we go. And we're on VNAV path. Everything's looking good. I usually don't fly with these lights on. There's a lot of lights on. These lights are on for no... it's because 2024, that's why. Is there a light back here on? It almost feels like there's a light on back there. Right, let's see. Let me turn on the flood and turn it back off again. I'll turn the integral up, that's for sure. It still seems like there's a light that's on back here. Oh, it was this light. It was. Okay, so it was those lights. Yeah. I hope Fenix with the BFU fixes that. It's like you gotta go through and literally cycle that light, cycle that light, cycle this light, cycle this light, cycle that light, cycle that light, cycle this light, the dome light as well. There's like all these lights you have to cycle. You're like, what is going on here? Let me see if the tray table light is on. Yep, it does appear that the tray table light is on. Yeah. There we go. That's why things were looking weird. I'm like, man, these screens look awful washed out for it to be evening time. That would be why. There. Now everything should be set to where it should be. Maybe I'll bring the annunciator lights to dumb. There we go, as we prepare for a night landing. Everything's looking good. This flight is much shorter than I thought it would be. Figured it'd be around an hour 15, hour and 20 minutes. Maybe if I had went down to Orlando, it would have been that flight time. And Jet Flight Sim says, hey buddy, checking back. And for a minute, my son is on his way over to visit. The views you are showing are beautiful. Thank you, Captain Jet Flight Sim. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, the simulator is definitely showing all of its colors this evening. It was absolutely amazing. I don't know if you caught some of those colors as the sun was setting there, the pinks and the oranges and the yellows, but it was absolutely showing how beautiful the simulator can be. And we had cirrus clouds. You see how it's clear now, but we had some clouds up top there. It was absolutely amazing. Ooh, you know what I need to do? I got the cabin lights on. Let's go ahead and turn, see, on, off. There we go. Do I need to do that for you too? Yep. On, off. There we go. Let's get the cabin lights off as well. There we go. Now we can go back. Let's go ahead and go transition. 29903. Seatbelt sign is on. Wing lights are on. See the lightning, but I don't see any buildups out there. We'll see. Status. Let us check descent checklist. Here we go. Altimeters are 29903. Auto brake is low. Preferred approach page is set. Arrival briefing reviewed. The 85 visual approach backed up with the ILS to runway 19 right. The status is checked. The descent checklist is complete. Let's go ahead and pause our in-flight music at this time. We can get our replay going. We'll go ahead and record our replay. I'll start that now before things start getting busy, because we do have approach control services online, so I'll wait for them to give us a holler. But I don't really see, like, you look out here right now and the sim really isn't showing like anything that would indicate thunderstorms, but you know, it is what it is. And obviously if we go over here, I got the radar on, but it's not really going to show anything because the radar doesn't work. So bring you all the way back down. Excellent. We can go ahead and prepare the flight attendants as well. Flight attendants, prepare for landing. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Just low on at 250 knots. I love it. Max Racing, what are the thrust levers so small in the... What? Why? Do you mean why are the thrust levers so small in the A320? What do you mean? Like, why are they so short? It's probably because they don't move. They're in detents. So I'm sure if they were thrust levers that move, they'd probably be a little higher, but I don't know. It's just how Airbus designed it. It's actually very comfortable. And you would think with these little flaps here that like it wouldn't be like, it just feel weird to drop it into reverse, but it actually doesn't feel weird at all. It is 77 degrees in the back. Good grief. I'm gonna dump the temperature down just a little bit here. And let's go ahead and get all of our lights on. We're gonna let them know we're back into sterile. Yeah, that's a Airbus design choice. So I wouldn't know too much about any of that, why they did it. There's always someone somewhere that got paid to figure out what is going to feel comfortable to a pilot. So everything you see was someone had to think about. Like someone had to think about how big is the switch going to be? How far out will it stick? What shape will it be? How hard will it be to push and pull? All of that stuff. Someone had to sit down and think about all of this just for the one little button right there. Nice, we're in a cloud. Look at there. You'd actually get a lot of flashing from that strobe. Like it'd be refracting off the cloud. It'd be actually quite blinding to look at. I'm sure Perch is going to call me or tell me to call here any second. They are still online. Yeah, 19.9. They're still online. So that is what it is. There we go. Tampa Approach telling me to call him, so we shall. Lima is what it is. Blair Approach Frontier Flight 3318, 8,100, descending 5,000 feet on M85. We have information, Lima.
Frontier Flight 3318, Tampa Approach, expect visual 1 on the right, altimeter will be 2993.
Alright, we'll expect the visual 19 right, 2993 for Frontier Flight 3318. There we go. Just as we have planned. Go ahead and bring that in.
Legs 328 AV, turn landing 205, runway 1 on the right, clear for takeoff.
Right turn heading 205, runway 19 right, clear for takeoff, FedEx 320 ahead.
So what I'll do is when we cross this decel point.
Frontier Flight 3318, maintain 3000, fly heading 120 vector for the approach.
3,000, 120 vectors for the approach, Frontier Flight 3318. Alright, 120. And I'm not going to play around. We'll just go straight down to 3,000. I'll extend off of Fatty. Direct to Fatty. Radial in. We'll insert that. I will select my heading again. There we go.
911 wave, 19 break.
We'll just go ahead and get straight down to 3,000 so we can slow down. We're coming out of the bases here. I don't quite... I'm going to get rid of you. I don't quite have the airport, but I will call the local. I mean, I definitely have the...
3318, field will be to your 3 o'clock, 18 miles, port in sight.
We're looking Frontier Flight 3318. Slow it up to 170 knots and select that. Excellent. I think I have it. That might be it down there, actually. Building site, Frontier Flight 3318.
Frontier Flight 3318, clear goes approach, runway 19 right.
Clear visual approach, runway 19 right, Frontier Flight 3318. Alrighty, so we're clear for the visual approach. Let's go flaps 1, speed verified.
Climb maintain 12000.
I'll just intercept the localizer off of this heading.
Climb maintain 12000, FedEx 320 ahead.
And we're back.
49, turn landing 2.
Almost feels like we're back in a cloud.
Takeoff. Right 205, 1 on the right, clear for takeoff up to 49.
Not quite out of the bases. That's alright. Flaps 2, speed verified. Interesting. Microsoft is trying to figure out the atmospherics right now. Low capture. Flaps 3, speed verified. I got the wing lights on, right? I thought I had the wing lights on. Yeah, it doesn't look like the wing lights are on. Should be seeing a lot more of this lit up with the wing lights on. That's okay. That is quite alright. Glide slope is alive. Yeah. Yeah, not really seeing the airport. We'll get it. We're just barely in the cloud deck here.
Delta 49, say altitude.
Glide slope capture. We can set the missed approach altitude. That's going to be 2,000. That's set.
FedEx 328, every frequency change crew, have a good flight.
Over to Unicom. See you later, FedEx 328 Heavy, yeah.
Frontier flight 3318, 127011, runway 1 down the right for the wind.
19 array, clear to land. Frontier flight 3318. Clear to land.
Tampa approach, good evening. Third wing.
Oh, he literally just said he's going to be leaving for about 7 minutes. So I guess if we land while he's gone, we'll just taxi northbound just like we planned. There's the airport right there, dead ahead. And sight continuing.
I think he just stepped away for a few minutes.
Alright.
Frontier flight, Tampa traffic. Frontier flight 3318 is over Jim Bob, ILS runway 19er right. Tampa traffic. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and arm you. Gear down. We'll go manage speed. Flaps full. Before landing checklist. Altimeters. We have 29903 and 1620. Engine mode is norm. Landing gear. Is it going to do a self-check? There we go, self-checked. Down and 3 green ECAM memo landing. No blue before landing checklist is complete. Sim sounds are going to come up. See you on the ground. Stable. Alrighty. Autopilot's coming off now. Tampa traffic. Frontier flight 3318, short final runway 198. Tampa traffic. Get a little high there. That's alright. Got a little high again. Don't want to get too crazy high because we know the sharklet likes to float, but also don't want to get a sink. There we go. Back on profile. Looking good.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
on, stay on the runway. There you go. Deployed. Good lord. Rudders, come on. Come on, rudders. Alright, manual braking, so I can do some differential braking here. My rudders are sliding all over the place here. Good lord, that was not pretty, especially since my rudders, which are still sliding, please stop sliding. Proof right there. I definitely need some sort of silicone mat, something to stop this thing from sliding, because as soon as I started trying to put in some rudder, the pedals just started sliding from underneath my feet. That's awesome. But we are here, and I started putting in that correction like just above the numbers too. Let's make the left-hand turn here, bring up our tablet. What a crazy ride down. I mean, the landing wasn't bad. It was a crazy ride down the runway, as I could not put in enough left rudder. As the rudder, every time I went to put in left rudder, the rudder pedals just kept sliding. Let's see. We'll bring up the taxi diagram. Tampa traffic, Frontier Flight 3318 is clear of one nighter right. Will be taxiing to the ramp via Whiskey and Victor 3. Tampa traffic. Alrighty. So, let's go ahead and go flaps up. Yeah, I'm making all the excuses in the world, but literally, as I went to go apply left rudder, the pedals just slid across the floor. I'm like, awesome. Thank you. Thanks for that. A little bit more of a flat landing because of those double slotted flats and forward CG. I mean, in general, the 321, you land mostly flatter than you would a 320 or even a 319, mostly because of the tail strike caution that you got to worry about. You can't pitch it up nearly as high. Is he back now? I think he's back now.
Delta 1525, Tampa, departure, runway 19 right, taxi Victor.
Yeah, let's see. I get it. And this is, I'm just going left and right with the rudder pedals, and it slid from underneath me again.
Experience 2208, Tampa approach.
Yeah. I need something to stop it from sliding. I need something. Because it is Slide City here. Every time, I don't know if you can hear that through the microphone, every time you hear a thump, that's me bringing the rudder pedals back from wherever they slid from. So it is what it is.
And Delta 1525, you'll be following us through 320.
We'll go in here. Oh, I need GSX 73 E. I don't know. Oh, oops, get rid of you. 73. Boop. Nope. And we don't have Frontier? Nope. Okay, well, I don't know. How about that one? I don't care. We'll turn the landing lights off. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tampa. That squirrely whirly dance on the runway there. You need Cat 3 design tiller. No, well, no, the tiller? No, I don't need a tiller. So what I use for nose wheel steering is I just use the yaw axis on my side stick, because you're really using the yaw axis anyway, so I just use it to control the nose wheel steering on the ground. And then I have crosswind rudder pedals. So I have MFG crosswind rudder pedals that I bought. They're high quality, and it feels really good. I got the Airbus little foot pedals, or footrest as well. Not footrest, but I got the Airbus style pedal, and it feels really, really, really good. The only thing is, it just slides so easy. So I need to find a way to get it to stop sliding around on me.
Heading 205, 19 right clear for takeoff for wings 20.28.
Like right now, I'm just using the yaw axis on my my thrustmaster side stick here. Very sensitive with this left-right stuff. Oop, there we go. Excellent. We need to do a fully loaded airplane next time. I feel like this is pretty fully. You mean hot, like a hot and heavy type of thing? I mean, we could do that for sure. We're here at the gate. The seatbelt sign is off. We have the APU on. Engine 1 off. Engine 2 is off. We'll go ahead and go up top. Get all the fuel pumps all off. Alrighty. Excellent. Beacon light is now off. Deboarding has been required. Oh. Yeah. No, don't do all of that now. That is nice how the light kind of bleeds in. Very realistic there. We'll go ahead and get a dome light going. Yeah, I cut the engines. Yeah, the engines are off. Oh, you're just doing your own thing out there. Alrighty, it is what it is. Shutdown checklist. Parking brake is on and checked. Engine masters are off. Engine mode is norm. Speed brake disarmed. Radar is off. Windshield PWS is off. Our fuel pumps are all off. And slides 8 disarmed. APU on. Shutdown checklist is complete. There we go. We have made it. Go ahead and take us outside. Your Microsoft Flight Sim type rating is expiring, right? Well, the good thing is when I do my virtual type rating, I guess we'll find out real quick. Let's go ahead and stop that, and we can also disconnect from VATSIM. Thank you for your service. Get some some deep planing music going. Yeah, I guess the good thing is when I do my virtual. Did I forget these lights? I think I did. What is this guy doing? I have no clue. Oh, the wing lights are off. Thought I got them. I have no clue what the outside guy is doing. But I guess when I do my virtual type rating here, where I start practicing for my recurrent training, that'll be when I really start tuning in my rudder's sensitivity. Right now I have no rudder curve on it, so it's straight linear, which is, you know, take it or leave it. I haven't had any issues thus far with it being linear. I think my issue on that landing especially was the rudder sliding from underneath me. So obviously the aircraft wanted to weather vane into the wind, which was from the right, and I'm trying to press down a rudder pedal to the left that's constantly sliding away from me. So that was very interesting. The marshaller is doing yoga. Yeah, the marshaller definitely was trying to do something. I don't know what they were doing there, but yeah, I'll definitely start tuning it in. Like I said, I have a well, not pre-selected, but I have already made 6 different settings. So no rudder, no curve, and then we got 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. as far as like the curves go. So we'll see what feels the best as I started cranking out engine failures to start practicing them. The rudder pedals I have, like I said, they're MFG Crosswind rudder pedals. So I think I have the spring set to where I like. It feels pretty spot on to what the actual A320 series rudder pedals will feel like. I get the little mod as well, so that they look like A320 rudder pedals. And I also got a damper on it as well, so it doesn't just spring. It's a spring that puts tension on it, but then the damper takes that bounce back out of it, so it doesn't bounce around the center point there. So that's pretty much how my setup is, and then everything else is fairly basic. I got a Thrustmaster joystick, the Thrustmaster TCA Captain Pack, throttle quadrant, and that's about it, and a PlayStation 5 joystick. So the setup is fairly basic. The other throttle quadrant I have is the Bravo throttle quadrant, so we'll turn the volume back of the sim back down. There we go. Man, for a while there, I literally thought, I was like, well, I'm gonna slide off the runway and there's nothing I can do about it. As my rudder pedals just slowly started sliding away from me, I'm like, well, this is how this landing is gonna go. Rip to my stream. Oh, man. And I was actually kind of, I mean, the touchdown was okay, right? Like, it wasn't the greatest touchdown, but it wasn't the worst either. But then as soon as those mains got to the ground, the airplane wanted to start weather vaning into the wind. So what you're saying, Max Racing, is you want to do like a hot, high, heavy type of deal? You said fully loaded airplane, so like with MEL and high LS. So you're talking about hot, high, heavy with an MEL. What MEL are we talking about though? Hot, high, heavy with MEL. Yeah, you gotta let me know what MEL. We talking about a no APU MEL? Yeah, okay, so hot, high, heavy, no APU MEL. That is probably, we'll have to see. I'll have to make up the weather then. Maybe a break like a brake fan. You're talking about like a brake fan that doesn't work? Because you know the Fenix doesn't really simulate very well the brakes overheating. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking no APU bleed air. Because at least then we'd have to do a packs off takeoff, all that fun stuff. We'll have to see what will trigger that. Because right now it's not like crazy hot anywhere yet. Like, I mean, we gotta wait till it gets, and like Phoenix gets above 100, right? So that's when you're gonna start really seeing your limited takeoff performance. Oop. Yeah. Yeah, you come out of that dark cabin. Let's see. I guess I could be a nice person and turn the Well, you know, I'm not gonna mess with this. I don't know if I hit dismiss, if it will automatically stop mass imbalance. It won't let me click anything else though. Okay, well, that is what it is. We're deplaning in a dark airplane. That's what this is. Well, this is a version of emergency light you really don't see that often. There's the illumination strips on the floor. So it's very interesting that this airplane has that. Because usually, so like when you have the illumination strips for your emergency exit lights, the very first flight of the day, all cabin lights must be turned on to 100%. All the cabin lights have to be turned on to 100% so that these can take their recharge for the day, so that if something obviously happened, these have enough photoluminescence to be lit up. Do you want to do a second leg? Nah. I'll probably run a few replays. This was a terrible leg to end on, but I'll probably do a few replays here as my computer somehow struggles to we'll dismiss that to keep up the frame rates up. We'll go ready. I'll go ahead and activate that. We'll go ahead and close up our door here. There we go. We'll wait for this to come back online. And there we go. And I'll go ahead and get this dome light off. Do I need to go back and... Why are you struggling so much to turn? Do I need to go back here? No. Cool. They kept that. They kept my lighting, at least. Alrighty, so that's all ready to go. Let's go ahead and get that replay going, shall we? Yeah, I'm gonna take it easy for the night. I don't want to do a second leg and stay up too late max racing. Simply because I do go on call tomorrow morning, so I don't want to stay up crazy late and then go on call in the morning and get called out like immediately. So I want to be semi-refreshed when I have to go to work. There you go.
Too low. Terrain.
Alright, so
Terrain.
we'll do, I don't know. Yeah, we'll do this view first. How about that? I mean, 100%, like, you get down, like, especially at this altitude, the street lighting just looks so good. The street lighting just looks so good in the sim. Don't look at the landing. Let's not worry about that. Let's look at the lighting in the simulator, alright? So there that was, not too far past the touchdown zone, and not that hard, but then it started weather vaning into the wind, and there goes where my weather started sliding. Alright, let's take that back. Let's take that back, shall we? Pretty sure, where's downtown? Oops. I want to know where downtown Tampa was. It's somewhere down there. Resource usage exceeds GP memory. I have 24 gigabytes of memory. How are you using more than that? I think something is up with the the simulator. There's a memory leak somewhere. That's why we keep getting all the jitters and stuff like that. That's quite alright. There definitely is a memory leak somewhere, though. That explains why I'm getting such terrible performance. Beautiful touchdown. And there goes the aircraft. Like, all over the place. There's downtown Tampa. You know what I finally noticed about the simulator? And maybe it's because I only fly during the daytime. They don't have touchdown zone lights. Like this airport would have full-on touchdown zone lighting. Not bad. Let's do. There we go. See, it wasn't nearly as flat as you think. It's just, as you can see, the nose wheel decent ways off the ground, but as soon as it comes down, the airplane starts drifting. Man, the performance, I don't know what's going on. And I think some of it has to do with the replay tool. I know. Breaking news, our Frontier A320 viciously swerves a dance down the runway. Could this be connected to the recent Newark troubles? 100%. You know it is. You know it's 100% connected to that. Alright, let's see. I'm going to bring it back a little bit here. Yeah. There we go. Look at that swerve in action. I'm on all sides of that center line. All sides of that center line. Let's bring that back. Let's bring that back, shall we? Let's bring that back. Let's see. Numbers cam? Get the shot of it coming right over the numbers here. And then after that, we'll bring it back for just one last replay right over the numbers. There we go. It has the markings kind of sort of here. These should not be white, but I mean, it is what it is. It's flight sim. So that's one of the places where X-Plane just shines. They took the time to get the lighting correctly. Look at that crab into the wind. Beautiful touchdown. Don't watch anything else. Just watch the touchdown. Just watch the touchdown. It is kind of funny to see the airplane just zigzagging viciously across the runway. There we go. Get that back on. Because you can clearly see. Look at that crab. Look at that crab. Wow. And right over the numbers is where you really want to slowly start decrabbing the aircraft. Simply because anything higher than 50 feet, you're still in normal law. And the airplane doesn't like that when you start cross-controlling a normal law. So you got to wait until you're in direct law. Or flare law. Whatever you want to call it. And then start your decrab. So that is what it is there. All right, so this is, I think I locked this back on, so we'll head back inside. Alrighty, and we'll bring it back one last time there. There we go. I'll go ahead and let that rip for one last time there. This is going to be the last stream for the week. I'll be back, hopefully, fingers crossed. There's no nothing set in stone yet, but hopefully I will be back for Turn and Burn Tuesday. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do. Probably some Allegiant ops out of St. Petersburg, but I'm not too sure where I want to go yet. So that has yet to be figured out. But whenever I do figure it out, I will try to get that posted in time enough for everyone to get the memo on it. Otherwise, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Max Racing and Captain Jack Flight Sim. I really do appreciate you coming in and spend a little bit of time here in the Eagle's Nest this evening. You make the streams very much worth it every day, day in and day out, for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. Until I see you all at the very next live stream, please, please, please remember to take care of yourselves and each other. Until then, I'm Grey Eagle. Peace.